You're listening to PetLifeRadio.com.
It's Oh Behave with Arden Moore, the show that teaches you how to have harmony in the household with your pets. Join Arden as she travels coast to coast to help millions better understand why cats and dogs do what they do. Get the latest scoop on famous faces, their perfectly pampered pets, and who's walking who in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails. Garner great pet tips and have a doggone fur-flying fun time. So get ready for the pause and applause as we unleash your Oh Behave host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Now, there's just something wonderful when you walk out of a beauty salon or a barbershop and you're sporting that really stylish haircut. I think you got a little more pep to your step. You also feel good because you look good. Now, that same applies to dogs after their matted, dirty coats are given a much-needed makeover. Our show today is all about being creative, being compassionate, and making a difference by heeding a very simple but powerful motto: helping those in need one story at a time. Today's guests are author, illustrator James Martinez, and from Operation Kindness, we have the development director, Nikki Walker, all from the great state of Texas. Hey, welcome to the show, guys.
Hey, Arden.
Thank you, Arden.
Thanks for having us.
No, howdy.
Thank you, Arden.
No, howdy. Come on.
Howdy.
I love Texan blood in me. Come on. All right, guys. Well, we're going to discover how this wordsmith and this shelter staffer, plus a lovable brown and white dog named Patches, have teamed up to find welcoming homes for hundreds of shelter pets. But we got to take a commercial break, so you guys know the deal. Sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a pause. 4 furry ones, actually. Sit and stay. Oh Behave will be right back.
Hi, I'm Dana Humphrey, the founder of Whitegate PR. We have been specializing in PR and marketing in the pet industry for over 10 years. If you have a pet product or service you would like to promote, give us a call. We can help create awareness for your brand on TV, radio, magazines, newspapers, and blogs. Feel free to reach me directly at 619-414-9307 or learn more on our website at whitegatepr.com or follow us on Facebook.
Let's Talk Pets on PetLifeRadio.com. Oh Behave is back with more tail-wagging ways to achieve harmony in the household with your pets. Now, back to your fetching host, America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore.
Welcome back to the Oh Behave show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. Our special guests today earn pause and applause for being creative, and they've discovered a novel way to pump up the adoptions for shelter animals. I wish for all of us to give a big welcome to James Martinez. He is the president of Helping Tails Publishers, and Nikki Walker. She is the development director for Operation Kindness, the largest and oldest no-kill shelter in North Texas. It's located right outside of Dallas in the city of Carlton. Hey, I am so glad you guys could both be on the show, and we're going to talk about this book called Patches Awesome Day. Let's take it first with James. James, you've been hounding me for a long time to get on this show. I love your doggedness. So tell me a little bit about this book that you created with the help of a friend, Timothy Civic. I guess he also helped with the illustrations, too?
That's correct. I decided the Volunteer Grooming Fund needed some help, and so we wrote this book and had it illustrated, and we sort of patterned it off of some of the dogs here at the shelter. You know, they have a great attitude. It's enjoy the day, live in the moment, and I figured we could definitely do some help.
Well, in reading this book, you are like the Dr. Seuss of pet books, and you talk a lot. Patch's whole voice is in rhyme. I just wanted to share, if I could, because I'm the expert on the 3 Ps, pee, poop, and puke, I really have an affinity for Patches. In this book, one of the lines, Patches says, I head out to the lawn to find a place to poop and pee. Maybe I'll try a spot over there by the tree. Oh, no, that place will not do. I smell and sniff for a different place to poo. But finally, I find the perfect place, a spot of grass that is just the right space. What a relief. This feels grand. I am so happy everything's going as planned. I mean, seriously, there's a nice cadence to it and a very upbeat spirit about this little brown and white dog with a big wet nose, right?
Yes.
So tell us about how you came up with the name Patches and what's his message?
Well, I came up with the name Patches because I had written the story, and my illustrator drew a dog for me, and he looked sort of like a schnauzer. And I liked it, but then he says, I don't like that dog. And so he came back with this one. Okay. And so Patches now had he had that big old brown spot on him that just looked like a giant patch. Mm-hmm. And, I've been at the shelter for 7 years volunteering, and the way we name dogs usually is by some physical characteristic. And I says, you know what? We would name him Patches if he was here. So that's how he got his name.
Yeah, you talked about him. He's kind of an upbeat dog, but he knows what doggies do in a day. Even apologies to my cats, Zeke and Murphy, trying to chase a kitty. Bad dog, bad Patches. But he's napping, he's eating. I mean, this is the life of a dog, right?
Yes, exactly. And, like I said, I've been here for, 7 years volunteering, and I've gotten to watch dogs. My dogs are great about just, it's a great day to just lay in the sun and nap.
Yeah, I wish today was a great day for me to lay in the sun and nap, but it isn't. All right. And also here with us is Nikki Walker. She is the development director for Operation Kindness. Hey, Nikki, I've got to tell you, I've got my sister, Deb, big shout out, who lives in Allen, works in Plano. And if you go to the Fine Cemetery of Grapevine, most of my relatives who lived in Fort Worth and Dallas are there. Their last names were Moore and Rainwater. So I've got living and, 6 feet under relatives in the Texas area. But I did a book tour for some of my pet books a few years back, and I made a stop in Operation Kindness. And I don't know, you probably may or may not have been there. And one of my sister's dogs was adopted years ago at Operation Kindness. So we have a connection, Nikki.
That's fabulous. I didn't know that.
Yeah. So tell me a little bit what you do at Operation Kindness and a little bit about this shelter, because, you're a pretty big shelter there.
We are. Operation Kindness, as you mentioned before, is the largest and oldest no-kill animal shelter in North Texas. We have about 300 dogs and cats in our shelter at any given time. 50% of the animals that we do have at our shelter come from other shelters that do euthanize. So we are going out to these shelters on a regular basis, and if we have room, we'll bring them into Operation Kindness.
Good.
25% are strays. Unfortunately, dogs and cats get out sometimes. And then 25% of the animals that come to us are animal surrenders. So these are people who can no longer care for their animals. Maybe, they're losing their home, or maybe, they lost their job. And so they really do depend on us to help find another home for these animals.
And how did you get involved with Operation Kindness? Were you like the president of a small country somewhere and decided to come here? Or what's your backstory there, Nikki? I want to know.
Well, I was a social worker for many years. I worked in child abuse prevention out in Fort Worth, and a friend of mine called, and he had just become the executive director over here at Operation Kindness. He knew that I was a huge animal lover, and so he asked me to come and interview. And to be honest with you, I had some hesitations because I'd been to other shelters before, and they were always so sad, and I didn't know if I could work in one because I do love animals so much. So, he said, come on over. I promise you it's not sad. So I got here, and it is such a hopeful environment. All of these dogs and cats are so well cared for. We have amazing staff. We have fabulous volunteers that provide the love and the support and just, those extra hugs and kisses that these dogs and cats need on a regular basis. Because unfortunately, a lot of them haven't had that in their lives.
And you got this guy named James Martinez. Tell me the story on James. I know he's here. He could speak for himself.
We love
what's
James.
Your take on him? James is in the house.
Yeah.
Okay.
He's fantastic. He's here every week. He will sit and socialize the dogs that we have. A lot of our dogs come from very bad situations. They come from hoarders, or they come from puppy mills, which, the world has heard so much about.
Right.
So James really takes it upon himself to socialize these animals, because once they're socialized, they're more likely to become adopted. That's how the grooming fund came about, too, is because once they're groomed, become adopted more quickly, too.
Well, there's a story, I believe, James, maybe you can pop in here and tell us. There was a dog a female dog, I guess you said, that you came in and you were able to work the grooming magic and got an adoption. You've had over 300 from what you've said, but there was one, I'm trying to just check my notes.
I think it was Candy. And I think Candy came in, and poor thing, she just looked like a mop, a dirty mop at that.
Aww.
And poor thing, she got groomed, and within 9 days after the groom, she was adopted. So
oh my gosh.
It did wonders for her.
Do you know what kind of a dog she was, size-wise, or what kind of maybe breeds she had in her?
She looked sort of Shih Tzu-ish. I think she was a Shih Tzu mix.
Okay.
And she was gray and white, but you couldn't tell it when you looked at her. We've got the before and after pictures, and it's amazing.
Well, maybe we can put the before and after pictures also under your guest bio for this episode if you guys are cool about that. That gives people a real visual idea of what a difference. I mean, you should see me before I get my hair cut. I'm a one shaggy dog. I just got my hair cut yesterday. I feel marvelous. I'm looking, I'm strutting, I'm good. And then I have to wash my hair, and I'm like, darn it, I can't do it like my hairdresser Karen does. But I can relate to Candy. You know, I'm no Shih Tzu, but I can relate to her a little bit. You know, sometimes I have a dirty mop too. There's a couple of volunteers that have been helping in the grooming department. Nikki or James, whenever you pop up, let's give a shout out to them.
Yes, we definitely want to make sure that we recognize and thank Rachel Ricotta and Judy Holloman, as well as James. They saw this as a need, and they jumped right in, they took charge, and they organized this grooming fund. They also raised funds for this grooming fund, because as you know, it does cost money. Yep. So they went out and they made special arrangements with certain groomers in our area for a low-cost grooming session. They come to the shelter, they pick up the dogs, they take them to get groomed, and they bring them back, all on their own time and on their own dime.
And they got hair in their cars to prove it.
Absolutely.
Right?
Yep.
Yeah.
All right, well, we're speaking today with the publisher of Healthy Tales Publishers. He's also the author with Tim Civic. I always try to give good equal time to Patches the dog, and the book is called Patches Awesome Day. Also joining us from Operation Kindness in Carlton, Texas, is the one and only Nikki Walker. So we're going to talk a little bit more about things that are happening there deep in the heart of Carlton, Texas, right after we take this quick commercial break. So everybody just sit and stay. We'll be right back.
Time for a walk on the red carpet, of course. Oh Behave will be back in a flash right after these messages.
It's DesignerPetSweaters.com. Hand-knitted designer sweaters for your precious pup or cool cat. Beautiful couture patterns for your pets, including custom-knitted formal wear, casual wear, yachting, and even sports-themed. Many designer pet sweaters include feathered tammy hats, top hats, and a lot of sparkle. Each sweater includes leg loops, front paw sleeves, and leash opening. Visit DesignerPetSweaters.com to order your four-legged fashions today. Your pets will stay warm for the winter and be runway ready. Large or small, we fit them all. DesignerPetSweaters.com.
Let's talk pets.
Let's talk pets
On Pet Life Radio.
Pet Life Radio.
PetLifeRadio.com.
Hi, I'm Dean Koontz, and you're listening to Oh Behave with Arden Moore on Pet Life Radio.
We're back from the lot. Just checked the paper and we had a record showing at the box. The letterbox, that is. Now back to Oh Behave. Here's Arden.
Welcome back to the O Behave Show on Pet Life Radio. I'm your host, Arden Moore. I am having a great time speaking with James Martinez and Nikki Walker. Together, they are combining their talents, and they're making sure that dogs are looking their marvelous best so that they can get homes, permanent loving homes, and they're from the shelter Operation Kindness. James, I want to talk a little bit about your publishing company. Are you like secretly a zillionaire or something and are able to just do this? Or how are you paying for your kibble? And tell me a little bit about Helping Tales Publishers. I mean, I really like your motto, that you're really, truly helping those in need one story at a time. That's pretty powerful.
Well, I actually have a real day job.
Oh, a real day job. Okay. All right, let me try to guess. Are you a brain surgeon?
No.
Okay.
I'm an IT manager for a small corporation in Garland. But it does give me a little bit of freedom to do this. It gives me the freedom to volunteer here at the shelter. And Helping Tales is now here, and we're trying to help those in need.
And Helping Tales, the first book out is Patch's Awesome Day, right?
Yes, the first book is Patch's Awesome Day. And our next book that we have in the chute is Teddy T-Rex and the Dinosaur's New Shoes.
Okay.
And that one we hope to see in print in next month sometime.
Okay, tell us a little bit about how people can get their paws on both of these books.
They will both be available on Amazon. Amazon, Barnes & Noble, they can all get them. But Amazon, you can get the paperback. And for ebooks, Patches is also available in ebook. You can get it on Amazon Kindle. You can get it on Barnes & Noble Nook, and also on the Apple iBook.
Oh, boy, you're quite diverse, Mr. Martinez. Now, the story of Patches is helping people relate to how wonderful it is to have a happy dog in your life. But the story of Teddy T-Rex and the Dinosaur New Shoes, you're touching on a very, very important topic these days. Tell us a little bit about the backstory on this book.
Well, Teddy T-Rex is going to be about compassion, about bullying. It's about, standing up for what's right and for, helping your fellow person, for being a good friend. And we're excited about that. We think that there's a real need, and we're trying to help us, help everyone be compassionate to each other.
Well, I like that. Now, Nikki, have you started becoming an author too now? What's the story with you?
No, not yet. I'm kind of very impressed with James's publication so far.
So at Operation Kindness, tell us about some of the doggies that you have and kitties. I mean, give me some extremes. I'm talking like the biggest dog you've ever gotten, the oldest dog maybe that you were able to find a nice home for. I'm a big fan of the seniors, ageless wonders. So...
Yeah, oh gosh, we are too. We definitely have a wide variety of dogs in our shelter. I tell people all the time they have the biggest misconceptions that you can't find, cute little dogs or great big fluffy pretty dogs, and you can find any dog, any shape, color, size in a shelter that you're looking for. And there are people such as yourself who are lovers of the seniors. They have so many great attributes. They're calmer, they'll sit and they'll hang out with you, maybe they'll watch TV with you. I know we've adopted out a 14-year-old Chihuahua before. That's probably the oldest that I know of. Yeah.
No, wait a minute. That's awesome. I got to say it. It's awesome.
We do, of course we adopt a lot of puppies out as well, but we definitely want to pay attention to our seniors because they need love too. And so many times they come into a shelter and maybe their owners have passed away or something's happened. And so we want to make sure that they enjoy the rest of their life and they have a safe home to be in as well.
Well, I wanted to let you know, Nikki, all 4 of my pets, the Furry Fab 4, have come from the streets or shelters. And I've got 2 dogs who are 10, Chipper and Cleo, and a cat that's 14, Murphy, and a cat from Texas.
Yay!
Ziki!
Yay!
And I'm coming to Texas in Dallas in late October, early November. I'm really hoping we can work together. I don't know if you remember this kitty, but Ziki was the cat that some very mean person took a hunting knife on a 4th of July a few years back and skinned her back.
Oh, my gosh.
She ran under a porch. Very nice people in the Dallas suburb found her, took her to a veterinary hospital, and a lady named Edwina Baxley on a fixed income gave the clinic $1,000 and said, save this cat. And
That's
this
amazing.
cat had to go through water therapy, a bunch of stuff, went to a home to be fostered, got a little kitty cooties from the home, but it was well loved. I wanted to tell you that earlier this year I came to Dallas to teach pet first aid. This cat is the only cat in the entire Pet Tech program. I travel around the country, and she is my assistant. So you get to work on a real cat, all for the low price of deli turkey. And she will... You can wrap her in a towel. You can check her pulse. You can brush her teeth. I show people the right way to hold a cat. And when we can, we bring my big dog Chipper, who's also a teaching assistant. So we have a dog and cat team, and we're driving to Dallas. My sister, I told you, lives there, and I'm speaking at a conference, and I'm going to be teaching pet first aid. So we're going to have to get going and get something to be able to teach it at Operation Kindness. And you're going to be blown away by Zeke. And so Zeke is a cat, a little white and gray cat, and I thought she had a little Turkish fan in her. So Zeke, Z-E-K-I, is Turkish for clever and courageous.
Oh,
and
I can't wait to meet Zeke.
And she's had a date with Jackson Galaxy. She hangs out with Victoria Stilwell. She's had her butt sniffed by Tillman, the bulldog. This cat has traveled all over. Yeah. Wow. So Zeke wants to come meet you guys, and we're one step away from her being certified as a therapy cat with Delta Society, which is now called Pet Partners. So Zeke's got to take one more test, right, Zeke? She's here looking at me like, why don't I have the microphone? Why do you always talk?
That's fantastic. I can't wait to meet her.
Well, she can't wait to meet you guys, too. But I guess what I'm trying to show you in the story with Patches is, you know, we can give our pets such a wonderful life. I mean, and my two dogs surf, and they're 10 years old. And my 14-year-old cat is, you know, like the Betty White of felines. She's an ageless wonder. And I just think we're I don't know, we give them a lot. But tell me, Nikki, you went from helping out kids that were abused, and now you're helping the four-legged kids that are being abused. How has that impacted your outlook on life?
You know, dogs and cats are so resilient. I'm amazed every day at the things that we see. Unfortunately, bad things do happen. But then you see volunteers come in and you see staff come in that will absolutely change this dog or this cat's life and give them a wonderful home, give them the love, respect that they deserve. And I believe that you can tell in a rescue how grateful they are. They know that they have been given a second chance in life. And like I said, they're just so resilient and they're so appreciative. And that really has made an impact on me. Sometimes I wish people could, you know, be as loving as dogs and cats are on a regular basis.
Well, I think one is, and his name is James Martinez. James, you know, you're an IT guy. You're sitting there doing all that computer stuff. But how is this role that you're doing by being this publisher and doing the Patches Awesome Day and giving net proceeds to places like Operation Kindness? How's that made a difference for you?
It definitely, you know, it brightens my day. It makes, you know, seeing the bad things in the world not as bad. I mean, I know they're bad, but I also know that, you know, like Nikki said, I mean, people pull together. You know, we can make a difference. We can, you know, make it a better world. The bad is not going to win. You know, the good is going to win because, you know, we are resilient, because we can look at the dogs and cats and say, hey, if they can survive whatever bad things that they went through, we can survive too. So, you know, we just need to try and pull together.
Well, I'm very delighted that we've had on our show today two people making a difference for people and pets. We're talking about author, illustrator James Martinez, and from Operation Kindness in Carlton, Texas, we have development director Nikki Walker. You know, you guys are helping those in need, one story, one grooming success at a time. And I can't wait to see and meet you both. Are you ready for me later this year? I might be popping in with Chipper and Zeke.
Oh, yes, come on, we're ready.
Don't make me adopt anymore. I'm at my limit.
Oh, come on, just one more.
I got the furry Fab 4. I'm just kidding. But I'll do what I can to help you guys out. And I've written a few books myself, and we'll see what we can do to help you out. But Texas is near and dear to me, even though I'm in California. But like I said, I've had relatives past and now that live there. And so it's a state I really have a lot of affection for.
Well, thank you so much. We really do appreciate it.
All right.
We're excited to see you.
All right. So I want everybody to take their little pens out and check this out. I want you to go to these two websites, helpingtails.com, and Tails is spelled Tales. And then please check out the great work being done at Operation Kindness. It is operationkindness.org. Both of these are very powerful sites, and both have people that are making a difference for pets and their people. So I thank you, James Martinez, for being doggedly persistent. You're on the air. Was it worth the wait?
Oh, definitely.
Okay. He's like, I'm moving away from the mic. No, I'm just kidding. And Nikki Walker, I can't wait to meet you. I salute you and everybody at Operation Kindness for what you're doing.
Thank you. Thank you so much. And thank you to James. Please, everybody, go out and buy this book. It really is going to make a difference.
All right. The book is called Patch's Awesome Day. So you got to check it out. Go to helpingtales.com. It's on Amazon and a bunch of other places, but you're going to make a difference. And as always, I give a salute, a big pause and applause to my producer, Mark Winter. He makes this show happen each and every week. He's been putting up with me for far too long. We've got the people from Texas. We got a challenge for you. We got about 800,000 listeners. We want to pump that up to 1 million. I think there's a few people deep in the heart of Texas, in the Lone Star State. Come on, guys, join us on PetLifeRadio.com and the O Behave Show. We want to hit the 1 million mark. So until next time, this is your flea-free host, Arden Moore, delivering just 2 words to all you 2, 3, and 4-leggers out there. O Behave.
Coast to coast and around the world, it's O Behave with Arden Moore. Find out why cats and dogs do the things they do and get the latest buzz from wagging tongues and tails in Rin Tin Tinseltown. From famous pet experts and best-selling authors to television and movie stars, you'll get great tail-wagging pet tips and have a fur-flying fun time. O Behave with America's pet edutainer, Arden Moore. Every week on demand, only on PetLifeRadio.com.